So how we factor this is first we factor the first term, which x squared is the same thing as x times x. So in this case, it's going to be x times x, or whatever variable they use. Then we need to find two numbers that multiply together to give you the c, but add together to give you the b. Okay? Then we're going to use that information to write in the factor form of two binomials. Okay? Okay. So first, we know that our first term is x squared. So my two binomials are going to be x and x. Okay, in order to multiply together two numbers to get to a positive number, and when we add two numbers to be positive, both of our numbers are going to be positive. So I know I'm going to be adding for both. So a positive number and a positive number. Now I need to find two numbers that multiply together to equal 14, but add together equal 9. I'm just going to list out all my factors of 14. So 1 times 14 is 14, but does 1 plus 14 equal 9? No. How about 2 times 7 is 14? Is 2 plus 7 9?
Yes.
Yes. So my two terms are 2 and 7. Okay. So I'm multiplying two numbers to get to a positive number, but I'm adding two numbers to be negative. So what do my signs have to be? Anybody know? In order to get a positive number, what I'm multiplying, and then adding to get a negative number, what do my signs have to be? Negative and
Positive.
if we have a negative and a positive, when we multiply those together, they're going to be negative. So I'm going to need a negative and a negative. So my two numbers are going to be negative, and so they're going to multiply together to equal 18, and they're going to add together to equal 9. So 1 times 18, no, that's 19. 2 times 9, no. 3 times 6, yeah.
Yeah.
3 times 6 is 9, and negative 3 plus negative 6, or I'm sorry, 3 times 6 is 18, and negative 3 plus negative 6 is negative 9. Okay, so I have another positive. So what are my signs going to be? Positive. So x positive and positive. We're looking for positive. So they have to add, multiply together equal 2, but add together equal 3. So 1 times 2 is 3, and 1 plus 2 is, 1 times 2 is 2, and 1 plus 2 is 3. So my terms are going to be 1 and 2. Alright, so I have a negative and a positive number. So I have to find a number that can be two numbers that can be multiplied together to equal a positive number, but add together to equal negative numbers. So what do my signs need to be? Negative. Okay, so 1 times 64 is 64, but that doesn't add to 16. 2 times 32 is 64, but that doesn't add to 16. 4 times 16 is 64, but it doesn't add to 16. 8 times 8 is 64. Does negative 8 plus negative 8 equal 16?
Yep.
Yes. And so these are exactly the same. So how do I write this?
X minus 8 squared.
Yep. X minus 8 squared. That's our special case that we learned the other day. Okay. So now here, I have a negative number. So in order for us to multiply two things together to get a negative number, I'm going to have have a positive number and a negative number. However, when I'm adding, I'm also having a negative number. So that means that my larger number needs to be negative. So I'm gonna have a positive number and a negative number. So I'm gonna have x plus something and x minus something. So now I need to find two numbers that multiply together to equal negative 24, but add together to equal negative 5. So 1 times 24, no, that's going to give me a negative 23. 2 times 12, no, that's going to give me a negative 10. 3 times 8, positive 3 plus negative 8 is going to give me a negative 5. So 3 and 8. Okay, now I have a positive number and then a negative number. So what do you think our signs are going to be for this? Negative, positive, because I have to have a negative number that's my smaller number and a positive number that would be my larger number. So 1 times 42, no. 2 times 21, no. 3 times 14, no. 6 times 7, yeah, because negative 6 plus 7 will give me positive 1, and this is a 1. Yeah, so we have 6 and 7. Okay, so here I have a positive then a negative, so it's the same thing as up there. So I know I'm going to have a negative and a positive. And then we have an x squared, so in order to get an x squared, I have to have x and x. In order to get a y squared, both of them are going to have to also have a y at the end. But then I have numbers, so I need to find my numbers. So I need to find two numbers that multiply together to equal 10, but add together to equal 9. So 1 times 10. Yep. So this is going to be negative 1y, which is just negative y, plus 10y. Hey, here I have a negative positive, so that means that this is going to be what? What? In order to get a positive number at the end, I have to have the same signs. Negative, negative. Okay, so let's find two numbers that multiply together equal 51. So 51 are backwards. 1 times 51 is 51. And 3 times 17. Do either of those add up to 16? No. So if it doesn't work, then it's considered prime because you cannot factor it anymore. It's in its simplest form. There's nothing that can be factored out. And then, guys, I have an extra slide that I'm going to be projecting on the front of your notes of where the main thing is. You can write these down. It's just a key for keeping the signs straight, okay? So if you're good with how the signs are, you don't have to write this down. However, if you're having a hard time of figuring out like why it's negative, positive, or negative, negative, you might want to write this down. So when we have a positive, positive, our small number is positive and our large number is positive. When we have a negative, positive, our small number is negative and our large number is negative. So anytime that we have a positive sign for C, the signs have to be the same. Then, if we have a positive number and then a negative number, our small number needs to be negative and our large number needs to be positive. Like here. And if we have a negative, negative, it's the reverse. Our small number needs to be positive and our large number needs to be negative. If C is negative, it has to have opposite signs.